Hi everybody! I've been trying to think about what I'm going to talk about, and like the longer I think, the less ability I have to think, so I think I'm just going to talk, and if it needs to be edited, then I just won't post it right away. But I haven't been online a whole lot because I haven't been feeling well. I've been having more headaches recently than any other problems. Just a lot of headaches. My period, came and went with, pretty much, nothing happening. I didn't have, any horrible day of pain. That was, really awesome and really unusual, and hopefully it's the new usual, but, yeah, perfectly normal human period. Awesome! And on the last day of my period, I went to a pool party with my mom, and I hadn't gone to sleep the night before, so I was, insomnia well, which I don't know why, but I feel better when I haven't slept or eaten or anything. So, I went to this pool party, and it was my mom and the women that I lived across the street from when I was 10. But one of them is the lady that had the breast reduction from the doctor that I'm going to be getting it done at, and I got to talk to her about that, and that was really cool because she was she originally had gotten referred to somebody else, and then talked to someone that she happened to know who had a breast reduction by that person, and they were well, I found out afterwards that they're not actually the best reconstructive surgeon around, and so it just so happens that this awesome doctor is also the employer of the lady that lived a house away from the lady that got the breast reduction. It's just such a small world, when it comes down to it, and it's beautifully small, because it's not that it's a small world, and that's something that I've had, I don't know, prejudices about people that are, it's their world never expands, or they just go in a circle. I had this friend, and she was yeah, I met this person, they know this person, this person, this person, and there's always a link back. And I was your world is so small, you never leave the schoolyard, But now I recognize that things happen synchronistically, and that, wherever she is, whatever she's doing now, she's on her path, whatever. So I feel a lot better about that now. It's I can't really compare the results because this lady is pushing 60, But the daughter that I got all her hand-me-downs, toys and clothes and everything. She's actually gonna be there while the surgery's taking place, and that makes me feel a lot more comfortable. Just that someone who understands my personal plight, I suppose. I mean, you know, she definitely talks to her mom, and I talk to my mom. My mom talks about me, so it's pretty common knowledge that I have Lyme. It was really, really a bummer that I couldn't get in the pool. Oh, wow. I was really disappointed. I wanted to wear my swimsuit. I didn't. I ended up wearing... Actually, I think it's still sitting around here. Yeah. Wait, that's the bottom. Doop, doop, doop. I ended up wearing this, which it's a little tube dress with a little ruffle thing at the bottom. Don't you love my sound effects? I can't do anything actually, but I can go, oh, whenever I hold anything up to the screen. It's a Tokidoki print, and I got it from this girl on Etsy. Actually I was like admiring her work on eBay for a long time, and was finally like, ooh, that's the thing for me. And so it was really cool that I got to wear that. And I sat by the pool, and the woman whose pool it was, the breast reduction, who also got the breast reduction, she had like these little chairs that are just like, their legs are like this. So I just like sat in a lawn chair, which like did me a world of good, because after sitting by the pool for a little while, like even without sleep, I was like feeling like I'm feeling now, like someone is attacking my back. It hurts. Um, and I thought I was gonna have to go sit away from the pool and not be able to like talk to my mom and her friends, but that wasn't the case, because I got this little chair and I was able to dangle my legs in the pool. And I used Burt's Bees. Stop saying Mindy, please stop saying So that's not much better, I know. My mom got me Burt's Bees sunblock, which is really thoughtful of her, because I have not spent time out in the sun, like, at all for 5 years, maybe more. So I didn't have any sunblock. I was like, I better put foundation on. I put foundation on my face and on my shoulders, because I was like, that's the only thing I have that has SPF in it, because I use the CoverGirl Nature Luxe foundation. And, so I was really glad that my mom did that. And it was also, like, the first time she's ever acknowledged that I have, a paraben allergy. You know, that it's not just me, like, oh, wanting, you know, hippie products. And Burt's Bees is actually pretty good. So that was really cool. It worked great. I put it on my shoulders, my arms, my chest, the part of my back that was exposed, which I had the top, like the dress that I was wearing, it just is like, it just goes around me like that. So like I could actually like touch all the part of my back that was exposed. And I think because my legs were in the water, like after I put it on, it got washed off. So just like the bottom half of my legs and like the tops of my feet were fried. Like, as the longer that night went on, like the more they hurt. And I haven't had a sunburn for ages, so I was like, oh, this is so like weird. I haven't felt this for so long, because I used to get sunburns all the time. I mean, it doesn't take like any time out in the sun. I was only out for an hour, I think, over there. And then the Sharon, whose pool it was, actually got me this like umbrella. Like, she has a portable umbrella shade, and put that over me so like I wasn't in the sun anymore. And we also sat at the patio area and wasn't in the sun. It was really cool though, because I was able to like walk around, and sure, not like gracefully or anything, but I was able to walk around and like and feel pretty good. The margaritas probably helped that, because they were all like having margaritas by the pool, and I guess it's something that they do regularly. I just don't know about it, because, you know, I haven't had a relationship with my mom. And it's really funny, because like they hadn't been around my mom for a while either, I could tell, because my mom is like a completely different person. You know, she is her totally awesome self, like all of the time, rather than it being fleeting. And she's really nice and cool, and a lot more level-headed than she's ever been. So it was really funny to be like the only one there that kind of like knew what was going on. And it was really obvious that they hadn't like experienced this new Lana. So that was just neat. Let's see. I probably knew Sharon for like 10 years. Spent time around her for like 10 years of my life. And my mom said that when I went to get the margaritas refilled, Which simple instructions, not easy, not simple anymore. I was like, okay, I'm trying to remember. And I got back there and I was like, oh, I was concentrating on walking over here and like taking in everything in this new environment and just was like, I don't know what I'm doing. And my mom was like, trust your intuition. Like, I don't have intuition when it comes to making alcoholic beverages. I'm sorry. So that was funny. But while I was in there, she said that Sharon said she's never heard Mindy talk so much, like, in her entire life, which I believe. I was a really quiet, weird, like, I was the weird girl. And I still am the weird girl. I mean, if you spent any time with me, you would realize, like, how really crazy I am, and, like, what you see on video isn't for show at all. Like, I'm really nuts, and totally embrace that now rather than keeping it to myself. So that's neat. Let's see. My sleeping has been better, I guess, because I've been getting natural sleep a little bit. Not a whole lot, but a little bit. And that just makes me really happy when I don't have to take the prescription Valium to fall asleep. And also, I don't have 30 days worth of prescription to sleep, so I'm always really happy when I fall asleep on my own. Last night I had kind of an incident, and I had to take Valium not to fall asleep, but to prevent seizure thing from happening, and that was weird because I had been you're gonna have to I'm sorry, there's less light. So I had been doing a little craft thing. I'm working on a shirt for Etsy, and basically, like, it involves modifying this already drawn unicorn because it's, like, really, really ugly, and I'm sure someone's 8-year-old or, you know, a 20-year-old, like, if I had done that, I'm sure my mother would have been proud of me, or the Kentucky Derby. It's a Kentucky Derby shirt that must be ages old, because why does the Kentucky Derby shirt have hot air balloons in outer space with a flying horse? Like, I don't understand that at all. At all. But it was a really ugly flying horse, and now it's, like, really beautiful. So I was working on that. I'm feeling pretty good, and then I just felt tired, and when I laid down, I started getting all of these, like, random pains, I guess what you would, like, call neuropathic pains, just, like, my nerves doing weird things, like, in my, let's see, I can't remember the order that this happened in, and it's all, like, really close to each other. It was like pain was just moving around my body, and I think it began with my left eye hurting, like somebody had hit me in my eye. I was laying down, my eyes were closed, and I was, like, kind of, like, nodding off, and it was like somebody hit me in my eye, and I, like, woke up and sat up and propped myself up on bed and was, like, crying, and Sean woke up, and so then he was trying to help me move that energy, and maybe it just moved and didn't leave because, God, it felt like somebody was stabbing my lower leg, or no, my lower leg was like the sunburn had gotten, like, whoa, so much worse. And then my left thigh, there was a lot of left stuff going on, which, like, I don't like that. I don't ever like that, like, and it's silly because, like, the reason that it grates in my consciousness is because I'm diagnosed with peripheral neuropathy on the right side, and when they did the left side, it didn't have drastic numbers to get a diagnosis of peripheral neuropathy, but, like, it's obviously over there, you know, like, I don't just have, it's not like everything is on the right side of my body. The right side is always worse. It has always been worse throughout all of this, but it's not just the right side, so let that go. Totally normal. yeah, I felt like somebody was stabbing me with a pencil in my thigh or like a fork. Something dull enough that it felt like bruise pain, but like sharp because how deep it was going. And then my right ass cheek felt like somebody lit a fire under it. It was seriously just like fire was burning my ass cheek, and I started to get like twitchy on this side, which I usually get twitchy on this side, but I was getting twitchy. I don't think that's actually what my hand does. I think that my head goes over and my hand does something, trying to watch myself. I'm like, yeah, it's, well, I don't know. I can't I can't really duplicate it right now, but that that started, and um, I took the Valium, and after it kicked in, I definitely felt like um, what I had perceived to be the onset of a full-blown seizure was gone. And that's the other reason it's so difficult for me to understand, like, why I can't get a doctor to prescribe me more Valium. So, I'm gonna look into this other drug that my doctor's nurse, because I only see my doctor's nurse, you know. My doctor's nurse suggested that I take, and it's an older sleep med, and it's not like the newer things, and doesn't have all the side effects of the newer things. And I don't think it's an SSRI, which she like specifically told me. So if that gives you any idea how awesome the people in the medical community that I've invited into my reality are, like, they fucking know that I know what has been pulled and relabeled for something else, but was originally on the market as an antidepressant. So, love it. You know, love it. I love that. But I don't even have to, I don't have to play dumb around these people. Like, I know what a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor is, and I know I'm not going to take one. So, um, that's really neat. And I know I kind of like meander. Sorry. It takes a lot out of me. It's really weird. Like, I'm just talking, I'm just sitting here talking, and um, I guess just the effort of talking, and maybe the sitting up, which I'm not sitting up on my own anymore, I'm totally leaning against the bed. I'm just, like, sweating. Like, I'm getting self-conscious about, like, is sweat appearing on my upper lip because I feel it there? But yeah, the Valium definitely prevented me from having a full-blown seizure, and that's really good. Really happy about that. I've got, I don't know if you'll be able to see, I've had pretty steady hands lately, which is something that I'm really thankful for, of course, because I just love to be able to make things, and I've been I've been working on Etsy stuff even though I've got like really bad headaches and um, abdominal pain still that just like, cripples me. But one of the newer things going on that I looked up, and is most likely just a neuropathy from having Lyme, is red bumps on my first finger, which of course is the finger I use the most, like when I'm doing anything, and it's they're clustered around the knuckles, but like the knuckle like right on like behind my nail, which I don't even think of that as a knuckle, but they're clustered there, and then the sorry, along the side here. And they feel, but they don't really like hurt that much, but not a lot of pain registers on the right side in my arms, I think. I've noticed that water's hotter. Um, so, yeah. I'm running out of time. I don't want to edit. I love you, bye!